Welcome inside another edition of TinChattin, everyone, alongside play-by-play voice of Fort Wayne TinCaps, Mike Maz. I'm not sure who this young lady is who's singing above us right now, Mike. We positioned ourselves right underneath the speaker. You know who this is singing right now, or what song is
No, it's country music, which is out in Never Neverland for me. It's not one of my favorites. No offense to all you country music viewers out there. I couldn't tell you who it was.
I don't know either. But for her, for Mike, I'm Peter Hood again, and welcome into TinChattin. And Mike, we're enjoying the view right here. We hope this isn't the last time this year we get to enjoy this view. Final regular season home game of the season for the Fort Wayne TinCaps. A lot on the line, and they'll play their final series of the regular season this weekend against the West Michigan Whitecaps. We'll get to that in just a second, Mike, but quickly, let's go over where the TinCaps are at in the standings. Again, Bowling Green and Lansing, they clinched their first half playoff spots. The last two playoff spots up for grabs in the Midwest League Eastern Division. It's between three teams now: the Fort Wayne TinCaps, the West Michigan Whitecaps, and the South Bend and Great Lakes Loons. Excuse me.
Eliminated.
Yeah. So Great Lakes 34-32. TinCaps 31-34, West Michigan 31-34. So Great Lakes looks to be in good position to get that first of the two remaining playoff spots, although the TinCaps and Whitecaps both mathematically alive for that possibility. But it really comes down to this weekend, Mike. Fort Wayne and West Michigan, a three-game series. The TinCaps currently hold the tiebreaker. West Michigan, I believe, would need a sweep of the TinCaps in order to switch that tiebreaker. But it all comes down to this weekend, and you know, this is what these guys have played all season for, an opportunity going into the last series of the year. It's been up and down, but you have a chance to get it done this weekend, and we'll see what happens.
All you ask for is a chance, Peter. Here's the real scenario, and we talked about this before we started recording the segment. Great Lakes does look in good position. In spite of having been beaten the last two nights by Lansing, the Loons are 2.5 games in front of both Fort Wayne and West Michigan. Great Lakes finishes their series in Lansing tonight. Then they go home, and then they'll take on South Bend for 3. We know that West Michigan will finish at Dayton tonight, then go home to get ready for the TinCaps. The TinCaps, before they go to Grand Rapids, have to take on Lake County one more time. So breaking it down, if we're going to go into a Fort Wayne or West Michigan scenario for the second spot and concede a spot to Great Lakes,
right, yeah.
Here's the deal. If Fort Wayne wins tonight and West Michigan wins tonight, then it becomes, in essence, a best of 3. There'll be 3 games played, but the team that wins 2 of those games would get the wild card spot. If Fort Wayne wins tonight and West Michigan loses tonight, and the TinCaps have the 1-game edge plus the tiebreak. The tiebreaker right now, first tiebreaker is head-to-head, and Fort Wayne leads the head-to-head 9-7 with those 3 games yet to be played.
Right.
So if the TinCaps can win and the Whitecaps lose, then Fort Wayne will be up 1 going to Grand Rapids, and in that case, all they need to do is to win 1 of the 3, because that would end up in a tie, but based on tiebreak, Fort Wayne would get it 10-9. So that's where we're looking at.
Bottom line, though, is, I mean, even if you lose tonight, obviously you want to win tonight and put yourselves in a better position going to West Michigan. But even if you lose tonight, the bottom line is, if you win that series in West Michigan, you're going to the playoffs. So, Mike, let's break down that series a little bit, because by the time this airs tonight, obviously tonight's game will have already been played. And again, it all comes down to win the series against West Michigan and you get in. So you mentioned TinCaps are 9-7 against the Whitecaps this year going into that series. There's been a lot of roster turnover for the TinCaps since the last time these two teams have played. There continues to be guys. Luis Patino has been essentially shut down for the season. He was sent down to Arizona after reaching his innings limit. So another starting pitcher that has gone on the shelf. So there continues to be roster turnover. Mike, how do these two teams match up? What are West Michigan's strengths, and what do the TinCaps need to do well in order to beat them 2 out of 3 this weekend?
Traditionally, in the 25 years West Michigan has been in Grand Rapids, They're known for pitching and defense. And this year is no exception. They have speed. Fifth Third Ballpark in Comstock Park, Michigan is a very difficult place in which to hit a ball out. Home runs have been hit, but it's traditionally, I feel, the toughest park in the entire 16-team Midwest League to hit a home run. And the Whitecaps know that, and the Tigers, their parent club, know that. So they draft pitchers, and they draft players who have speed and defense, and they play more small ball. The strength for the Tin Caps offensively right now, Jack Sawinski, Owen Miller, Gabriel Arias, and lately they've been the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in Anthony Contreras' batting order. Sawinski has just had a marvelous August, and you threw out some numbers since July 31st. He's hitting like 365 and something like, 6 home runs, 22 runs batted in, or give or take. Yeah. Miller, we mentioned, is hitting over 360. And Gabriel Arias, a great story. He joined the club when Tatis was promoted last year in August. So we've seen him for about a year now. And earlier, up until like mid-July, he was near the Mendoza line, hitting it near the 200 mark. And since then, he's hitting over 300. He's got his average up, I believe, to close to 240. He has 6 home runs. He has taken the team lead with 54 runs batted in. And last Monday night in South Bend, he became the first Tin Cap and the second player in Fort Wayne franchise history to hit for the cycle when he went 5 for 6 against South Bend, got the needed triple in the top of the 9th inning. A 5 for 6 night with 2 singles, double, triple, home run, scored a couple of runs, and knocked in 5 runs. So he's hitting the ball well.
Where have you seen his approach change? I'm curious, because, I mean, there have been times, he's been here for a while now. You mentioned it going all the way back to last season, and there have been times where he has really, really struggled offensively. He's always had the ability defensively. Where have you seen his approach change at the plate, and what do you think has clicked for him over the last month or so?
A couple of areas, not swinging as hard. You and my friend Corey Stace, yeah. He's caught on, and he has mentioned it as well. Perhaps a little adjustment in the stance, but he has worked on modifications. He's not quite as open a stance. He's staying more with the pitch. He's going with the pitch. He has had, Arias had an extra base hit in 11 of his last 15 games through last night. And a lot of those extra base hits are going the opposite way to right center and right field. The triple on Monday night, right field. So it's a combination of maturity. Now he's been with this team for a calendar year, and just getting through the mental phase. Hey, I don't have to hit the ball out of the yard. Go with the pitch and look what happens, and he's making much more solid contact.
Obviously, Arias has tremendous potential, and hopefully that bat can stay hot, and he can lead the Tin Caps to a playoff berth. Either way, we'll be here to talk about it next week, whether it's a season wrap-up show or a
playoff series.
Yeah, looking ahead to maybe another playoff series. We'll be here to talk about it, and we'll hope for the latter, not the former. Sometimes I get those two.
Let's just hope for the best. Hope for the best. Get into the playoffs. Get into the dance, as they say, and then do your thing.
We'll see what happens, but you know this man will be prepared to talk about it whatever the scenario. He is Mike Moz, the play-by-play voice of the Fort Wayne Tin Caps. My name is Peter Hood. Appreciate you joining us for another edition of TinChattin. Much more coming at you in the locker room right after this break.